Right, I'd request both my guests to stay on with me. And now, viewers, let's take a look at the details of the India-Indonesia BrahMos deal, and let me show you that on the big screen. Now, we're talking about the BrahMos missile, the supersonic cruise missile, co-developed by India and Russia. This is, of course, what it looks like. This is, of course, a very well-known name that we all know of. The maximum speed is Mach 3.0. Range is 800 kilometers, length is 8.4 meters, launch weight is 3,000 kilograms. Let's talk about the cruising altitude. That's at a 15-kilometer. Warhead is semi-armor piercing type. Guidance system is inertial navigation and GPS GLONASS. This is, of course, the details of the BrahMos missile that we've collated for you on NewsX. Let's talk about the fact that it uses ramjet propulsion for sustained supersonic flight speed. And it can be launched from land, sea, air and submarine platforms also, viewers. Now, the BrahMos missile flies at low altitudes to evade enemy radar detection. Its guidance system includes inertial navigation plus GPS GLONASS. So this, of course, viewers, are the details of BrahMos missile, and we will try and understand that better from our very senior defense experts who are joining us. But before that, I want to come to you, Major General Sudhakarji, and on the point of China, I'd like your opinion as well.
Vaishali, could you repeat the question, please?
Yes, Major General Sudhakarji, I want to speak to you about the fact that you also see this deal as a message, perhaps a geopolitical message to China.
Well, I don't see any messaging in this. This is purely, in form of action. You see, if China, in international relationship, there is nothing permanent. It is only the national interest of the country. Whatever India is doing, it is to safeguard, it is to protect its people and keep them safe and secure from external threat and from internal challenges and instability. So as far as the external point is concerned, like the way we see our northern border, the standoff still continues. Nobody seems to be talking about it. So there is an extension of the standoff. And although we have been talking, there is a thaw, there is hardly any thaw, there is no improvement. And China continues to play its game of brinkmanship all over the world. The BRI has assumed a new name now, Global Security Initiative, Global Development Initiative. There are new names because China realized that the BRI is turning unpopular. So basically, it is a counter move to string of pearls. The string of pearls is the ports which China has constructed, whether you call it Chakfu in Myanmar or Hambantota in Sri Lanka, Gwadar in Pakistan, and there is another one close to Gwadar they are constructing now. I think it is some name Pyari or some place. Thereafter, it takes you to Djibouti. So when you join these ports, they are connected by a maritime link route. And the ports, apart from the logistic basis, they are going to have gradually, incrementally, they will start having the military component as well. So therefore, in order to time ahead, mindful of the fact that what Wing Commander Praful Bakshi has just said, almost not 80, it is 83% of energy security of China is dependent on passing through Malacca Strait. Because neither the CPEC, that is China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, nor the China-Myanmar Economic Corridor, they have not been made functional on a regular basis. They have been tested and tried out in order to avoid Malacca. So Malacca, as we know, during 2005 and 7, Hun Jintao was the president of China. He had coined the term Malacca dilemma, because China's biggest dilemma is the Malacca dilemma. Because Malacca is the only strait through which all the 83% of energy coming from different parts of the world, whether West Asia or Africa or Latin America, they pass through. If energy is not regular and predictable in its supply chain, then China's economy goes absolutely fucked. So therefore, They have to have very safe and secure corridor and safe and secure sea lanes of communication. But Malacca happens to be a big choke point, which China's supply chain can be choked. And therefore, India has to contain and calibrate its effort and be mindful of the fact that whatever we are doing with Indonesia today, we have to keep in mind that Indonesia is member of BRICS, and BRICS presidency is being held by India this year. So Indonesia being member of the BRICS, and also there are common factors. The president of Indonesia had been invited as the chief guest of in the recent past in Adi Parade, and we have Indian diaspora there, and we have Indian culture being practiced, on regular basis. So there is a cultural linkage, a language linkage. We have the religion also there is a linkage. The economy is booming between both the countries. There is a proximal relationship, and we are looking at engaging with Indonesia in a big manner. So if you look at the concept of Indo-Pacific, although it is being played down by USA because the Quad is being scaled down from USA side. However, India's initiative is giving, I would say, a breath of fresh air to the concept of Indo-Pacific by engaging with countries like Indonesia. Indonesia in Southeast Asia is a country which is centrally, geographically located, which dominates the major choke points, and Malacca happens to be one of them, and therefore China is being contained effectively by arming Indonesia with BrahMos and providing them with Astra missiles. In times ahead, we are expected to provide many more defense armaments and equipments to Indonesia. We are making them dependent on us, and we are also dependent on Indonesia for critical minerals like nickel, tin, and copper. They produce a lot of copper. Comparatively, one of the leading countries, they produce copper. Copper is actually a rare commodity these days. And being central in the Southeast Asia, when we talk about ASEAN concept and Indo-Pacific, ASEAN plays a central role. In ASEAN itself, Indonesia is playing a central role. So therefore, engaging with Indonesia, followed by Australia and New Zealand, we are not only giving an extended life to our concept of Act East policy, but also we are creating a corridor for security, for economy, for technology, for giving a push to an Atmanirbhar Bharat, which willy-nilly, directly or indirectly, is going to contain China and counter China, and also if push comes to shove in times ahead, we will be prepared to contest China also. And our extended area of interest of India has gradually, willy-nilly, has shifted from Persian Gulf towards Mediterranean, and from Malacca Strait to South China Sea. That also has to be kept in mind, and we need to focus on building up our defense capability as far as the maritime resources are concerned. Back to you, Vaishali.
All right, I'd request all my guests to stay on with me. Now, viewers, let's look at which other countries India has signed the BrahMos deal